Beneath the surface of our conscious awareness lies a hidden tapestry woven through eons of time, an intricate web of karma that silently guides the destiny of every soul's journey. The readings of Edgar Cayce reveal that our past actions, buried deep within the Akashic records, shape not only our present circumstances but forge the very blueprint of our future. As we delve into these sacred archives, we uncover the echoes of a lost civilization, Atlantis, and the profound impact its fall had on spiritual harmony and karmic imbalances that ripple through generations. The soul's relentless pursuit of enlightenment, the awakening of the Christ, consciousness and the collective transformation of humanity are all intertwined within this cosmic web. What if the key to understanding our true purpose and rewriting the story of our collective destiny has been hidden in plain sight all along? The truth about karma is far more than mere cause and effect. It is the hidden foundation that holds the power to unlock the deepest mysteries of our existence. In the silent depths of the universe, where time and space dissolve into the eternal fabric of existence, the soul's journey unfolds, a sacred odyssey inscribed within the infinite library of the Akashic records. The next revelation, as illuminated through the sacred readings of Edgar Cayce, beckons us to peer beneath the surface of our conscious understanding and to recognize the profound, often hidden foundations upon which our entire spiritual experience is built. The concept of karma, a word too often misunderstood as mere retribution or punishment, reaches far beyond such superficial interpretations. In truth, as the readings reveal, karma is the intricate blueprint forged by the soul's own choices and actions, etched into the very fabric of its eternal nature. It is the silent architect of our circumstances, the unseen force that molds our present reality and shapes the corridors of our future unfoldings. Through Cayce's insights, we come to understand that karma is not merely about consequences. Rather, it is the very language of the soul's evolution, a divine mechanism by which the soul seeks balance, understanding, and ultimately union with the divine source. In examining these sacred teachings, we discern that our past actions, those deeds, thoughts, and intentions carried forth through countless incarnations, are stored within the immense archive of the Akashic records. These records are a cosmic ledger, recording every choice made, every lesson learned, and every imbalance created. As the soul incarnates anew, it carries these impressions, these karmic imprints which influence both its outer circumstances and inner development. The soul, in its divine wisdom, is drawn to experiences that will restore equilibrium and facilitate growth. Yet the journey is seldom linear, often woven through the remnants of Atlantis's fall or other civilizations, long lost to time. The fall of Atlantis, as the records reveal, was not merely a tragedy of earthly dominance or technological hubris, but a profound spiritual dissonance, an imbalance of the divine harmony that had once been maintained. The spiritual hubris led to a collective karma, a collective imbalance that echoed through the ages. This event, etched deep into the collective consciousness, created ripples of karmic debt that still influence the spiritual fabric of humanity. And yet, even amidst such darkness, the divine purpose persists. The soul's relentless pursuit of enlightenment, the awakening of the Christ consciousness, and the eventual healing of these ancient wounds. How does this relate to the present? The soul, guided by the inherent law of cause and effect, seeks to reconcile these imbalances in each incarnation. The readings of Cayce emphasize that every action, whether motivated by love or fear, carries its weight in the cosmic balance sheet. Every thought, every deed, even the unspoken intentions, are recorded in the Akashic vault awaiting their resolution. The soul's purpose, therefore, is not merely physical or material. It is rooted deeply in the pursuit of spiritual harmony, an alignment with divine truth that transcends the illusion of separation. The soul's journey is a quest to understand that karma is not an external force punishing us, but a reflection of our own divine nature, a mirror revealing where we are out of balance. When viewed through this sacred lens, karma becomes a gift, a divine tool for growth. It is the universe's way of guiding the soul back to its original state of divine unity, a process of inner alchemy that transforms pain into wisdom, suffering into compassion, and ignorance into awareness. In Cayce's teachings, the phrase, "the soul seeks the balance," resonates with profound truth. The soul, having experienced the dualities of existence, light and darkness, love and fear, embarks upon each incarnation with the purpose of rectifying these imbalances. These lessons are not punitive, but educational. They serve as the soul's compass, guiding it toward higher consciousness. The soul, through its incarnations, learns that true power lies in understanding the law of cause and effect, and in consciously choosing actions aligned with divine love and truth. Furthermore, the divine framework of karma underscores the importance of free will. The soul's potential for growth is immense, but it must be exercised with awareness. Cayce's readings reveal that the soul's ascent into higher dimensions of consciousness is directly linked to its ability to consciously resolve karmic debts, forgive past transgressions, including self-transgressions, and to forge new patterns rooted in love and compassion. In doing so, the soul begins to rewrite its blueprint, creating new pathways of light that transcend the old cycles of suffering and limitation. Yet the most profound revelation is that the journey does not end with individual resolution. As collective consciousness awakens, as humanity collectively strives toward higher states of awareness, the accumulated karma of humanity itself begins to shift. The awakening of the Christ consciousness, an awakening to our divine origin, serves as a catalyst for this transformation. When enough souls align with the divine truth within, the collective karma begins to dissolve, giving way to a new era of spiritual harmony and enlightenment. In this sacred understanding, we realize that the universe is fundamentally benevolent. The law of karma, when understood correctly, reveals the compassionate nature of divine justice, a system predicated not on punishment, but on perfect balance and growth. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, recognizes that every experience, every challenge, is an opportunity for evolution, a step toward the divine perfection that lies within all of us. As we continue to explore these hidden foundations, let us remember that the keys to unlocking our highest potential lie within. The records are open to those who seek truth with an open heart. The divine consciousness within each of us awaits awakening. Our past actions, those recorded in the cosmic ledger, are not chains but lessons guiding us home to the divine self. In the grand design, the soul's journey through karma is a sacred dance, a divine rhythm that, when understood, reveals the path toward liberation, harmony, and eternal reunion with the source. The truth, as Cayce's readings reveal, is that we are not victims of karma but masters of it, capable of transforming every imbalance into an opportunity for divine realization. And in this understanding, we find the ultimate purpose, to remember that we are divine beings, eternally evolving, eternally loved, eternally one with all that is. In the silent depths of the universe, where the eternal fabric of consciousness is woven with threads of light and shadow, there exists a sacred repository, an infinite archive known as the Akashic Records. These records, as revealed through the profound insights of those who have glimpsed their depths, most notably through the sacred trance states of Edgar Cayce, are not mere archives of past events, but the living testament of the soul's eternal journey. They are the divine library where every thought, every deed, every lesson learned and unlearned is inscribed in a language beyond time, beyond space, a language of vibration, of energy, of divine memory. The soul's journey, as Cayce's readings reveal, is a voyage through myriad incarnations, each one an opportunity to seek balance, to embrace love, and to awaken to the divine within. But how does the soul carry these lessons forward? How does it remember its true nature amidst the chaos of earthly existence? The answer lies hidden within the sacred records, those vast timeless archives that serve as the blueprint of our individual and collective destinies. The records are, in essence, a cosmic mirror reflecting the soul's previous incarnations, the karmic patterns woven into its fabric, and the lessons that remain to be learned. In the depths of these archives, it is written that the soul's purpose is not merely to endure its cycles of suffering or joy, but to transcend them, to rise above the illusions of separation and realize its unity with the divine. Cayce's insights teach us that within these records, the divine harmony of the universe is encoded. They reveal that every soul, regardless of its current state of awakening, is part of a grand divine design, one that beckons us to remember who we truly are. When we speak of unlocking the Akashic Records, we are not merely referring to a mystical act of retrieving information. We are engaging in a sacred process of awakening, of aligning ourselves with the divine wisdom that resides within. Cayce himself demonstrated that accessing these records requires an altered state of consciousness, an open heart, a quiet mind, and a reverence for the divine truths that lie beyond the veils of illusion. Through deep meditation, prayer, or trance, the soul can pierce the veil of forgetfulness and glimpse the treasures hidden within. In these glimpses, Cayce's readings reveal that the records hold the keys to understanding our individual and collective destinies. They show that our current life circumstances are reflections of karmic patterns stored deep within the records, manifestations of past choices, unresolved conflicts, and lessons yet to be fully integrated. Yet more profoundly, they offer the possibility of liberation, to see beyond the illusion of separation and realize that the true purpose of our incarnations is to awaken to our divine nature. The records also illuminate the profound interconnectedness of all life. They tell us that each soul is part of a divine symphony where every note echoes through eternity. Our actions ripple through the fabric of existence, creating waves of karma that influence not only our own journey but that of others. Cayce's insights emphasize that understanding the records empowers us to consciously align our thoughts, feelings, and actions with love and divine truth. When we begin to rewrite our karmic patterns, transforming imbalance into harmony. Yet the journey into the records is also a journey inward, a pilgrimage to the core of our being. As Cayce taught, the key to unlocking the divine archives is found within the stillness of the soul. It is in this sacred silence that the divine, a voice whispers truths long forgotten. The soul seeking to access its records must cultivate purity of intent, humility, and a deep reverence for the divine mysteries. For in doing so, the soul aligns itself with the cosmic consciousness, where all knowledge exists in perfect harmony. The divine truth revealed through Cayce's readings is that the records are not separate from us. They are an extension of our divine essence. They hold the map of our divine destiny and the blueprint for our spiritual awakening. To explore them is to embark on the most profound journey of self-discovery, a journey that leads us back to our true nature, to the realization of unity with the divine. Every lesson learned, every karma resolved, and every memory reclaimed from the records is a step toward the awakening of the Christ consciousness, the divine spark within us all. Cayce's insights affirm that the soul's evolution is a sacred unfolding, a process of remembering our divine origin and embracing our divine purpose. The records serve as the divine compass, guiding us through the labyrinth of illusion toward the light of our higher self. In closing, let us remember that we are not isolated beings wandering aimlessly through the universe. We are divine sparks, eternal and infinite, carrying within us the memory of all that has been and all that will be. The records are the divine archive where our spiritual history is preserved, a testament to the divine plan that unites us all. As Cayce's readings reveal, when we seek to unlock this sacred knowledge with reverence and love, we open the door to profound transformation. We step into the awareness that we are co-creators of our destiny, and that within the divine records lies the key to our ultimate liberation, the awakening of the soul to its eternal, divine truth. In the silent depths of the Akashic records, where the whispers of countless ages converge into a single sacred symphony, there lies a chapter of extraordinary significance, one that echoes through the corridors of time with profound repercussions for our spiritual evolution. It is the legacy of Atlantis, a civilization deeply intertwined with mankind's spiritual history, yet shrouded in mystery and suffering. As the readings reveal, the fall of Atlantis was not merely a geological cataclysm but a pivotal moment, an event that disrupted the divine harmony of consciousness and imprinted karmic imbalances upon the fabric of human civilization. The Atlantean epoch, as illuminated by Cayce's profound insights, was a time of remarkable spiritual advancement. Humanity at that point had reached extraordinary heights of technological achievement and spiritual understanding, harmonizing the physical and the divine within their consciousness. These souls, guided by an innate awareness of their divine origin, sought to manifest their divine potential through mastery over the elements, through wisdom, and through a deep connection with the universal consciousness. In this era, The soul's journey was intertwined with the collective consciousness of Atlantis, a civilization that symbolized both extraordinary spiritual potential and profound hubris. Yet, as the records reveal, the fall of Atlantis was precipitated by a pivotal imbalance, an imbalance rooted in the misuse of power, materialism, and a departure from spiritual truth. The civilization's pursuit of mastery over the physical realm, unchecked by the discipline of the soul, led to a diminution of spiritual awareness. The divine harmony that once guided their endeavors was replaced by greed, arrogance, and a desire to dominate both nature and each other. This spiritual dissonance created a karmic ripple, a disturbance that reverberated through the very fabric of their collective consciousness. The cataclysm that engulfed Atlantis was, in reality, an act of cosmic correction, a divine intervention to restore balance, yet one that left a lasting imprint on the souls involved. The fall was not merely a destruction of physical structures, but a profound disruption of spiritual harmony. The Atlanteans' misuse of their divine gifts resulted in a karmic debt, a debt carried across lifetimes. The records speak of how this imbalance was recorded in the Akashic archives, awaiting resolution through subsequent incarnations, through lessons learned, and through the awakening of the Christ consciousness within each soul. As CAYCE'S readings reveal, the remnants of Atlantis are scattered across the fabric of human history, hidden in the myths, legends, and subconscious memories of civilizations to come. The karmic imprints of Atlantis are deeply embedded in the collective consciousness, manifesting as struggles for power, material obsession, and spiritual disconnection in later ages. These imprints serve as a reminder that the soul's journey involves not only physical reincarnation, but also the healing of ancient wounds, karmic imbalances stemming from the hubris and spiritual neglect of that ancient civilization. The importance of understanding the Atlantean legacy lies in recognizing that the fall was a pivotal lesson, one embedded in the soul's ongoing quest for balance and divine harmony. It underscores the necessity for the individual and collective consciousness to realign with the divine principles of love, humility, and spiritual truth. CAYCE'S teachings emphasize that the soul seeks to transcend these karmic imprints, to learn from the mistakes of Atlantis, and to restore the divine blueprint that was momentarily obscured by the fall. In the present era, the echoes of Atlantis serve as a clarion call for awakening. The soul's journey continues, and the lessons of Atlantis are woven into the fabric of our current spiritual evolution. The records reveal that we are now in a time of great opportunity, a moment where the collective consciousness is awakening to its divine potential. The fall of Atlantis was a lesson in humility, an awakening to the importance of aligning one's actions with divine will, and a reminder that true mastery is rooted in spiritual harmony rather than material dominance. The divine blueprint within each of us bears the memory of Atlantis, an ancient remembrance encoded within our soul's DNA. The awakening to the Atlantean legacy is also an awakening to the divine potential within, to the realization that the journey toward Christ consciousness involves healing these ancient wounds. It is through this process of inner reflection, humility, and spiritual discipline that we can transcend the karmic imprints of the past and restore that divine harmony which was lost. The records serve as a sacred map, guiding us to recognize the patterns that originated in Atlantis and understanding their manifestation in our current lives. By delving into these karmic imprints, the soul gains clarity and power, an awareness that the journey of healing and awakening is ongoing. The fall of Atlantis was not the end, but a catalyst, a divine challenge to rise above materialism and ego, to reconnect with the divine source, and to manifest that higher consciousness within. As the spiritual archaeologists of this era, we are called to remember that the Atlantis story is not merely a tale of loss, but a testament to the resilience of the soul's pursuit of divine truth. It reveals that through conscious awareness, spiritual discipline, and divine love, each soul can transcend the karmic scars of that ancient fall. The awakening of the Christ consciousness within is the ultimate act of healing, a divine resurrection that restores the original divine blueprint, guiding us back to the harmony that once existed in Atlantis. In this sacred journey, the understanding of the Atlantean legacy becomes a vital key, unlocking the depths of our spiritual potential and illuminating the path toward divine harmony. The fall of Atlantis was indeed a pivotal chapter, but it also serves as a reminder. The divine blueprint within us is indestructible, awaiting only our conscious recognition and effort to bring forth the light, balance, and harmony that our souls inherently seek. In the silent depths of the records Akashic, where the echoes of past civilizations and the whispers of eternal truths intertwine, there lies an undeniable pattern, a divine rhythm that guides the evolution of the soul. As we continue our spiritual journey, guided by the revelations of Edgar Cayce, we uncover that the evolution of consciousness is not a mere unfolding of time, but a sacred process, rooted in the very fabric of creation itself. It is the soul's ongoing quest for enlightenment, a divine pilgrimage that seeks balance, healing, and ultimately, the awakening of the Christ consciousness within. The records reveal that each incarnation, each cycle of rebirth is a step along this sacred path. The soul, eternally seeking, moves through layers of experience, sometimes veiled in darkness, sometimes bathed in divine light. The purpose of this journey is neither accidental nor arbitrary. It is a divine design, an intricate dance between karma and free will, aimed at refining the spirit, awakening higher consciousness, and aligning with the divine blueprint embedded within each soul. In the depths of Cayce's readings, it is written that the soul's progression is marked by periods of expansion and contraction, of awakening and integration. When the soul incarnates into physical form, it does so with a purpose, to balance karmic debts and to awaken dormant spiritual potentials. The karma that we accumulate is not punishment, but a divine teacher, an opportunity for growth, healing, and ultimately, transformation. Each act, each thought, imprints itself upon the soul's record, shaping its evolution and setting the stage for future incarnations. Yet, as the records reveal, the soul's journey is not linear but cyclical, spiraling upward toward higher states of awareness. The soul's consciousness expands through experiences, lessons of love and forgiveness, trials of humility and compassion, each designed to awaken the Christ consciousness, the divine spark that resides within every living being. This Christ consciousness is the universal aspect of divine love, the divine light that illuminates the dark corners of ignorance and fear within us. In Cayce's teachings, it is emphasized that awakening this divine consciousness requires conscious effort, an inner awakening that transcends mere knowledge. It involves a profound aligning of the heart and mind, a surrendering to divine will, and a commitment to spiritual discipline. As the soul seeks this awakening, it must confront its own shadows, those unresolved karmic patterns that hinder its ascent. The process of regeneration, of rebirth into higher states of awareness, is not merely a return to physical life, but a spiritual renewal, a rebirth of the soul into its divine nature. The journey toward Christ consciousness is the culmination of this ongoing evolution. It is a state of divine union, where the soul recognizes its unity with all that is, with the divine source that permeates the universe. Cayce's readings reveal that this awakening is accessible to every soul, regardless of their past missteps. The divine mercy offers each soul the opportunity for renewal, for shedding the burdens of karma and awakening to its true divine nature. In the ancient civilizations long lost, Atlantis among them, the soul's pursuit of enlightenment was intertwined with the mastery of consciousness. As Cayce's visions disclose, Atlantis symbolizes a time when humanity was on the cusp of great spiritual potential, but also of great hubris. When the soul seeks balance, it must remember that true mastery is found not in material dominance or technological prowess, but in spiritual harmony, the harmony that aligns the individual with divine will. As we awaken to our divine potential, we come to understand that the evolution of consciousness is a sacred process of becoming, an unfolding of the divine within us. It is a journey that demands patience, humility, and unwavering faith. The records reveal that through prayer, meditation, and conscious effort, we can accelerate this process, drawing divine energies into our lives and healing the wounds of the past. This awakening is also a collective endeavor. The consciousness of humanity as a whole is evolving, moving toward a higher state of unity and love. Cayce's teachings illuminate the truth that when enough individuals awaken to their divine potential, the collective consciousness shifts, creating ripples of spiritual renewal across the earth. This is the dawning of a new era, an era where the Christ consciousness is no longer a distant ideal, but a living reality within each of us. In the mirror of the records, we see that the soul's evolution is not merely about personal salvation, but about restoring harmony within ourselves and with the universe. The divine blueprint embedded within us calls for us to remember our divine origin, to heal karmic wounds, and to awaken the divine light that resides within all creation. The ancient story of Atlantis reminds us that spiritual mastery is rooted in humility and divine harmony. As Cayce's revelations confirm, we carry within us the potential to transcend the limitations of the material world and to awaken the Christ consciousness, the divine spark that illuminates our path back to unity with the divine source. The soul seeks balance, harmony, and awakening, an eternal quest that echoes through the ages, guiding us toward our ultimate destiny, divine union, enlightenment, and the realization that we are one with all that is. Thus, the evolution of consciousness continues, an unending journey of awakening, healing, and divine realization. The records reveal that within each of us lies the seed of divine light, waiting to be nurtured through conscious effort and unwavering faith. For it is in this sacred pursuit that we find our true purpose, and through it, we fulfill the divine plan etched into the very fabric of our being. In the silent depths of the universe, where the divine blueprint whispers through the fabric of time and space, the records reveal a profound truth that echoes through the corridors of eternity. Humanity's collective karma is the very fabric upon which the future of consciousness is woven. As we have journeyed through understanding the sacred cycles of individual soul evolution, we now stand at the threshold of a greater revelation, the interconnectedness of all souls and the collective karma that binds us in the grand tapestry of spiritual transformation. The teachings of Edgar Cayce, revealed through the Akashic records, show us that each soul's journey is but a single thread in a vast cosmic loom. These threads, though seemingly individual, intertwine in patterns that influence the whole. The collective karma of humanity is a mirror reflecting our shared consciousness, our collective patterns of thought, emotion, and action, an intricate dance of cause and effect that spans generations and epochs. In the depths of the Akashic records, it is written that the evolution of humanity is not merely a series of isolated karmic debts to be paid, but a collective awakening, a conscious shift in the very fabric of our spiritual reality. This shift is catalyzed by the realization that the struggles, conflicts, and upheavals of our world are manifestations of unresolved collective karma. The wars, the environmental crises, the social upheavals, they are not random, but rather the echoes of ancient wounds embedded within the collective consciousness. The records reveal that these are opportunities for healing, opportunities for the awakening of the Christ consciousness, within each individual and within humanity as a whole. The secret lies in understanding that the collective karma is not fixed, but fluid, a dynamic interplay of consciousness that responds to our collective awareness and intention. When individuals awaken to their divine nature, when they remember that they are sparks of the divine, they begin to transmute their personal karma. This personal transformation radiates outward, influencing the collective field. As the soul seeks balance and healing within itself, so too does the collective consciousness shift toward higher vibration, toward unity, love, and understanding. The records emphasize that humanity's current spiritual awakening is not accidental. It is woven into the divine plan. The spiritual evolution of mankind is accelerating, driven by a collective desire to transcend the dualities of fear and separation. When enough individuals align with their higher selves, embracing compassion, forgiveness, and the recognition of the Christ consciousness, they catalyze a profound shift that can rewrite the entire narrative of human history. This is the core of the revelation. Understanding the interconnectedness of our karma is the key to transforming not only ourselves, but the entire world. As we come to see that the pain and suffering in our collective history are echoes of unresolved karmic debts, we realize that healing those wounds requires a conscious effort, an awakening to love and unity. The records show us that forgiveness is the bridge that leads from pain to peace, from separation to unity, from ignorance to enlightenment. The divine blueprint, as revealed in the Akashic records, suggests that this collective awakening will usher in a new era, an age where the consciousness of humanity aligns with its divine origin. This is the age of the Christ consciousness, a time when the realization of our divine potential becomes universally evident. When enough souls awaken to their divine essence, the collective karma shifts from a cycle of suffering to one of healing and enlightenment. Yet this transformation demands humility and awareness. It calls for each individual to examine their own karmic patterns with honesty and compassion, recognizing that every act of love, forgiveness, and understanding contributes to the healing of the whole. The records reveal that the universe responds to our intent. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions ripple through the fabric of time, influencing the collective field in ways that can catalyze or hinder progress. And so the journey of spiritual evolution becomes a conscious act, a sacred responsibility of the soul. The collective karma of humanity is not a burden to be borne with despair, but a divine opportunity to awaken to the Christ within, an invitation to rewrite the future narratives of our species through love, compassion, and divine awareness. In contemplating the profound truth revealed by Cayce's teachings through the lens of the Akashic records, we understand that each soul's awakening contributes to the collective healing. Our individual efforts are not isolated. They are threads in the divine tapestry, each one essential to the emergence of a higher consciousness. The records whisper that the future is not predetermined by past mistakes, but is malleable through conscious choice. When we recognize our interconnectedness, when we embrace the divine within and extend that love outward, we dissolve the illusions of separation. This collective awakening has the power to rewrite the story of humanity, transforming karma from a cycle of suffering into a cycle of divine renewal. In this sacred moment, as we stand on the cusp of higher consciousness, we are called to remember that the divine light within each of us shines brightest when we work together in harmony. As the soul seeks balance through humility and love, so does the collective consciousness ascend toward its true divine purpose, a world where the Christ consciousness reigns, illuminating the path for all. The divine plan, as revealed through Cayce's visions and the Akashic records, invites us to see beyond the illusions of separation. We are not isolated travelers on separate journeys, but interconnected threads in the divine fabric of creation. When we awaken to this truth, the collective karma shifts from a weight of unresolved wounds to a radiant path of divine healing, an eternal dance of souls awakening to their true nature. Thus, know that the future is written in the consciousness we hold today. Each act of love, forgiveness, and understanding rewrites the narrative, nurturing a collective consciousness that embraces its divine potential. The evolution of humanity is a sacred journey, one that begins within each soul and unfolds into the collective awakening of all. The records reveal that the key to transforming our history lies in recognizing our shared karma and awakening to the divine light that unites us all. As we stand at this pivotal moment in our collective evolution, the divine truth whispers that within each of us lies the power to transform not only our own karma, but the very fabric of humanity's future. The records and Cayce's teachings reveal that awakening to our divine nature, embracing love, forgiveness, and humility, is the key to unlocking the higher consciousness, where the Christ consciousness illuminates our path forward. Remember, the journey toward divine harmony begins with a single conscious step within your heart and outward into the world. I invite you to share your insights. Subscribe to continue this sacred exploration and share this message with others, for together we can weave a new tapestry of awakening and divine unity. Let us remember that our collective destiny is shaped by our awareness and love, an eternal dance that begins now.